Okay, so this talk is about gamification, and I knew this would be a good topic to cover when someone wrote this as feedback. I like how you are using previous knowledge for your idea. Sneaky way of calling me a nerd, but definitely let me know I was on the right track. So, I'm obviously, a very good video game player, 15 years of video gaming experience, but you might not know much about video games, or more specifically what gamification is. So here's the definition. Gamification, noun, the application of typical elements of game playing to other areas of activity, typically as an online marketing technique to encourage engagement with a product or service. By increasing this engagement, services can get more attention, more consumers, and more money. Keyword here, that's the whole point, and it's going to come up constantly during this talk. Now, what are these typical elements of game design? A lot of things, but some more important common ones are badges, missions, visual progress, unlocks, leaderboards, and points. And I'm sure everyone I'm sure everyone has been engaged by at least one of these elements at some point in their life, but you might wonder why you were engaged by these elements. Well, gamification works using the dose neurotransmitters, the chemicals in your brain that make you feel happiness. First up, dopamine, the most well-known happiness chemical. It is released in anticipation of a reward and is key for motivation and learning, so very important to gamification. It's triggered by novelty, so by encouraging new discoveries and exploration, it can be used very well in gamification. Next, oxytocin, the love chemical, so to say. It strengthens social bonds in our society and our connections to stories and characters, even if they are fictional. So by using a strong narrative in your gamification, you can gamify oxytocin. Serotonin is a strong mood regulator. Low levels of it are linked to depression, while higher levels are linked to happiness and balance of your emotions. It is triggered by pride and self-importance. So by using memorable achievements like badges and trophies, it can be gamified. And finally, endorphins. Endorphins are another well-known happiness chemical, but as opposed to the others, it is more of a short-term high than a mood regulator like serotonin. It is triggered by overcoming challenge, so by including just the right amount of challenge, you can gamify it. Now, the good way to remember these effects of the four chemicals is using the 4 I's of gamification. Interest, identity, importance, and I overcame. Those correspond to dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, and they all start with I. Oh yeah, and then what is this all for? Engagement. Now, what kinds of services can use gamification for engagement? Almost anything. For example, educational services like Khan Academy. Khan Academy has millions of users, and to engage them in their learning process, they use gamification. You can see on the right there, visual progress, or mission progress, whatever it calls it. And then in the upper right, you can see points and badges, two very good indicators of gamification. Then right center of the screen, you can see missions, different challenges that the player can undertake during the process of gamification. And Khan uses this strong engagement in gamification to engage millions of people to help them learn. It can also, however, be used by advertisers to promote their brand. This gamification causes users to engage more and make them more likely to buy the products. Here you can see 3 game design elements: notifications, intro service via e-newsletters, achievements in the form of stamps at the bottom, and monetary reward in the form of coupons for McDonald's. It is very effective advertising. This article also shows that gamification can even be considered to increase voter turnouts in national elections, a very important part of our democratic process. It has a huge effect on that. So gamification is absolutely crazy in that way, taking concepts from an entertainment medium and using them to send special signals through our brain that cause engagement, to advertise, to teach, to promote, to do anything really. It's an exciting concept, and this is just the basics of it. Gamification is already part of your daily lives, so now that you have a thorough understanding of it, you'll be able to see it and appreciate it. Thanks.